Hi there, my name is Ben. Welcome to Tracking Legislation within Engagifii. We're going to start here where you're likely going to start your day, on the all state bills list. So once you log into Engagifii, if you're intending to find the most recent legislation that's come out, or you're looking for a particular needle in the haystack, as it were, a very specific bill that you've heard about, and you want to put that on your tracked bills list, this is where you're going to come to do that. So when you log in, on the left side, open up the legislation module, and then all state bills. And if you see some other stuff over here that doesn't look familiar, don't worry about it. Every client is different. Engagifii has a lot of modules. So if all yours has is my area, relationships, and legislation, that's totally normal for a lot of our clients. So for today's purposes, legislation, all state bills. Now, as you can see here, I'm currently looking at bills from the state of California. Of course, we work with clients all over the country, but the basic workflow here is exactly the same. So what I want to do is a couple of different things here as an example. I'm going to first look for a very specific bill. Let's say I'm looking for Bill 207. I can go up here to this top area, this toolbar, and type in 207, and that's going to find all the bills that have 207 in it. Notice I can also sort. So if I want to look at all the bills numerically, so SR 002, 001, I've got this reverse sorted. If I click it again, I've got it the other way around. I can also, this is probably going to be a very common use case, sort by introduced date. So here, right now I'm recording this on January 11th. The most recent bills in the state of California were introduced on January 8th, and so they're prioritized up top. Now I can click it again and prioritize it the other way around. I'm looking only at the 2021 session, so the oldest bill that I see here is 12-7. And you can notice here that I can also sort by bill title. If I'm tracking bills in multiple states, I can track by state. And then finally, last action, right? Who cares when it was introduced? What's the bill that's moving? So I can sort both ways on there as well. Now, looking from left to right here, you'll notice that we have a bunch of different information that we can look at. Obviously, whether this is a House resolution, a state bill, House bill, what have you. Of course, different states will have different nomenclatures, the bill number, the state, and so on. You can look across and notice that there's a lot of different information that's provided right here. This bill's in the Rules Committee as an example. A couple of key things to point out is that I can real quickly, in one click, download the PDF for any bill that's displayed here. And so here's the PDF for this particular bill, all one click away. Now, if I want to change the way that this screen's arrayed, I can do that too. Let's go up to our wrench up here on the top right, and we'll list our columns. And because I'm only tracking bills in one state, it doesn't add a lot of value for me to see California written over and over. So I'm just going to turn that column off. And if I've decided that the bill number is more important than the bill type to me, I can drag that up and that'll reorder the columns accordingly. So, customize your experience. Now, we talked about searching for a particular bill number or a particular bill title. Up here on the top right as well, next to that wrench, we have a filter option. And so if I want to specifically filter this list by House bills and Senate bills, notice how my number is whittling down here to 417 out of the possible 448 that are available to me. So if I click apply, that filter will apply, and now I'm only looking at the subset of bills that are House bills and Senate bills. Now, your Amazon shopping skills apply here. So if I also wanted to look for bills that were, say, sponsored by a very particular person, let's say Bill Dodd, then I can go to sponsors, type in bill. I can see that there's two bills. I'm going to click on Bill Dodd, and now I've whittled down from over 400 bills to the 11 that are either a House bill, a Senate bill, and where Bill is a sponsor, or Bill Dodd is a sponsor. So you get the idea here. This is a lot like shopping for headphones at Amazon. I want a pair of black over-the-ear headphones, right? You're adding filters, adding criteria together. Exact same skill set here. So just check the boxes. And anytime you come to this screen, whatever filter you had applied last time you were here will still be applied. And so if I want to clear those filters, right up here is clear all. So anytime you come to this screen, or really any list screen, and you see fewer items than you were expecting, you probably just still have a filter applied from the last time you were here. Go to the filter, and click Clear All, and that'll reset you back to the maximum number of available bills. So that's navigating. Let's track a bill real fast. I'm going to do this two different ways. We're going to track two bills. The first one, let's just say this one here, this holdover senator's bill. Notice that as I page through, I can see different information that's available to me that's being fed to us by, in this case, the state of California. First is a summary, if the state provides one. They didn't really provide one in this case. Various versions of the bill, where I can get not only today's version of the text, that's always available through our PDF link, but also prior versions of the text. So if I want to see what it looked like on December 7th, I can do that just one click away. That would just download the PDF. If there have been votes on the bill, I can go to the bill and look at the votes tab, see all the yays, see all the nays, see all the abstentions, all the names of the people who held whatever position. Same thing with history. What's been happening with the bill? Really importantly, references. If there's a cross file of this bill, meaning the same exact concept in a shared bill between the House and the Senate within a particular state, that cross file should be, you should be able to see it right here in the references tab. I can also, though, look at the bill summary from any point in its documentation history as well. Activity is going to be something likely for you guys in administrative roles. You can see here that someone named Engagifii admin viewed this bill at 9:08 p.m. on January 11th. And by the way, that's me. I'm logged in as Engagifii admin. I can also see the sponsors of this particular bill, Susan Rubio. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and click on that, open in a new tab. And you've got a full database of all the elected members within your state of the House and the Senate, profiles, voting histories, what committees that person's on, bills that they've sponsored, all kinds of information that you have really quickly at your disposal within Engagifii, just easy to grab without having to track it in some other system. And then finally, what committees is this bill in? Right now, none, right? But as it works its way through the process, it might find one or another. But let's say that this is a bill that's important to me and I want to go ahead and track it. Up on the right side, anytime you're inside a bill's details like this, you'll see a track button. So I'm going to go ahead and track it. And I'm going to choose what level of urgency. And of course, this is a customizable list. By this point, you've probably already customized it. But I'm going to choose what my urgency level is for this bill. I'm going to say yellow alert, right? And if this has to do with a particular category of bills, depending on your goals as an organization, you might be tracking bills on green energy. You might be tracking bills on taxes or on campaign finance reform or what have you, right? Whatever your area of study is, you can create various tags that are of importance here, right? So as you can see here, I'm having a little bit of Star Trek fun. And I can say this is a bill that's about Klingons. And maybe it's also about starship combat. Now I've created one tag and selected another tag, and I'm going to go ahead and start tracking. Now, I'm going to do another bill, and I'm going to make one change to our settings real quickly to facilitate it. I'm going to go into Settings and Configurations, and I'm going to go into Legislation, and I'm going to turn something on. I'm going to go down and find the option of assigning bills to other people. So I've turned on bill assignment here, and let's do one more bill, and I'll show you what that means. For some of you, you're tracking the bill to get it on your radar, but you're kind of a one-person show when it comes to the analysis, and you're not going to be handing that work off to somebody else in your team. For others of you who are parts of larger teams, you'll probably want to go through this workflow. Let's say I want to track another bill. By the way, I don't have to go in the bill to do it. I can just say, here's two more bills that I want to track, and I'm going to click track. Or I can hit the toggle next to any given bill, and it'll pull up that same pop-up. Let's say this bill I care about, but I care about it a lot more. So I'm going to call it Red Alert. I'm going to give it the Romulans tag, and I'm going to assign it to somebody on my team. In this case, I'm going to assign it to James Kirk. Now, notice I also have here a group. If you've got a particular group of, a committee of subject matter experts, people that know a lot about campaign finance reform, you can tag that entire group of people right here, and they'll be notified that a bill has been assigned to them, and then they can sort of review it by committee. Most cases, I find that folks want to assign individually. And so I'm just going to assign James, and I'm going to go ahead and assign myself here for the purposes of our conversation today. But you would pick the person, that subject matter expert's name from the list, and then hit track. So once you've tracked some bills, and let's go ahead and do a few more just so that we've got some bills on there. Once you've got some bills tracked and tagged in whatever combinations you might need to, depending on what bills you're tracking that day, what bills you've whittled down to, looking at all of them that came out yesterday, then those bills now get moved onto the tracked bills list, and anyone that you have assigned the bill to is going to be notified of that assignment. Now, from that point, that person's going to log into Engagifii and go through the process of analyzing the bill, and that will be the subject of our next video.